All right, dudes and dudettes. Let's go through my next trade list and we'll take a look at some of the cryptos that I'm most interested in shorting once we enter another good entry area. And we'll talk about where those good entry areas might be. All right, this is going to be a hopefully shorter video than my weekly updates. My weekly updates are intended to give you a broader overview of not only the more broader markets and the macroeconomic perspective, but how that spills over influences our cryptocurrency space, especially Bitcoin, who is our lead dog. All right, so if you want a more overarching perspective and maybe a little bit longer term perspective, you would want to view those videos. However, they are longer. I cover a lot more complexities and some of the leading indexes that kind of influence our space here in the crypto world. All right, let's just get started here with our list. I have a list here. These are just, I don't know, I suppose it's somewhat random. Cryptos that I have been following, I've been especially interested in at one time for a long, and now because of what is happening in the broader market, which is spilling over into the crypto space, and because Bitcoin has fallen below this ascending wedge in this channel, which is bearish, and also the 200 weekly, you can view the weekly update for my perspective on where Bitcoin might be going. But because of this, it's influencing our altcoin world. And so there is a case to be made for shorts. And in fact, I made a short entry last night on Solana. And then immediately this morning, after a $2 profit, I just got out. And I want to talk about why I got out, as well as what I am seeing here that influenced my decisions and where I'm looking to re-enter if I re-enter a short again. All right, so you can see here, this is Solana, and what I found early this morning is that we were resting on this particular support. All right here. Actually, we were a little bit below it because, as I stated, I made $2 profit on this trade, which I entered last night. And I apologize if you guys weren't able to get in on the quick trade because, you know, so many of you guys are across the seas, across the pond somewhere, New Zealand, Australia, England. I'm surprised at how many people actually follow me from across the pond. Probably more people than here in the U.S. Anyways, I got out of my trade early this morning because I saw we were coming into that support, and that coincided with the fact that we were coming into support on Bitcoin. You can see this purple trend line here, and so I knew there's probably going to be a bit of a pause. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe over the weekend we continue our downward movement. I don't know. But I just thought, you know, everything seems to be coming on major support, and I'll go through the rest of my altcoins and show that. And so it would be wise to take profits while I had them, and I did, and I made about 5% on this particular trade. And because I accidentally entered twice, I made twice the money I was expecting to make, which is a good thing. But you know, it's only my $10,000 portfolio, which every trade tends to be only $1,000. Now, if you're following and you have 100,000, of course you can multiply that times 10. Some of you have more than that, so you would enter proportionally. So anyways, that was a profitable trade. Now, what am I looking to do when I re-enter into this particular trade? Well, what I really want to see is either one of two scenarios play out. Either we bounce and come back and hit our heads on the underside of this I suppose you could call it a neckline because this looks a little bit like a head and shoulders pattern here. See this, guys? Right shoulder, head, and actually left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. All right, so that's what I was looking at, and that would bring us down to the top of this descending trend line. And as I've stated previously many times, we like to come back and test those previous lines of support / resistance. This acted as resistance, so now we want to test it as support before we bounce and come up. So actually, when I entered this trade, I suggested that that really was my target, and you can see exemplified here with the green. All right, my target was really the top of that, but I chickened out early this morning and pulled out because I saw we were on support, and I thought I might actually find a better entry or re-entry area in this case if I wait for us to bounce a bit and maybe we come up. I'm going to use my other drawing utensil because it'll be smoother, and hit the underside of that. That's exactly where I would want to re-enter and then wait for us to really just drop down at that point. All right, so that's kind of my line of thinking there, and in line with that was what I was seeing on the other charts. So since I'm talking about the other charts, let's go through them. All right, we start with Solana. Out of that trade, I'm actually in no short trades right now, only one long trade, and I'm probably just because I'm being stubborn and I want to at least break neutral with that one. I'll get into that lastly. All right, so Matic here is another one, and when I drew these percent gains here, that's actually where we were at. We were up here when I was thinking about entering this one, and obviously last night I was sleeping, and that's what happens a lot of times. I've found I'll either go on a camp trip, I'll be somewhere where I don't get good cell phone reception, or I'll be sleeping at night, and that's when the big moves are made. I just happened to wake up early this morning, so I exited my Solana trade for some profit. But we are right now on this 50-day moving average, and that is providing us with a good amount of support. So again, don't necessarily want to enter on these support levels. That's not where I want to enter. That's where I would want to exit and take some profit. I was just going to take 50% profit on Solana at this support, but I decided just to take all my profit because that's just what I wanted to do. I want to see how the market is going to react to this rather drastic drop. In some cases over 10%, as you can see here on the list, like GMT 11%, EOS 11%. That was another one I shorted a couple days ago and made some profit on, and I saw that as a good opportunity as well. Anyways, we are on support, and that's not, guys, where you want to be entering these short trades. If anything, that's where you want to be entering a long trade. And you can see the RSI is also starting to get down there. This one's not bad, but it's starting to get down there. And really, you want to see it anywhere from 40 to 60 if you're going long or short, along with a good setup, a legitimate case to enter long or short. And in this case, because we are on that 50-day moving average, I wouldn't be comfortable entering a short in this on that one, on Matic. All right, now Link looks like it's pushing down through the 50-day and 100-day. Case could be made, but I'd want to see confirmation on this. This is the daily chart. I would want to see another candle open under that 100-day moving average before I entered that. And then your potential for profit is really only about 7-8%. Now you would have at that point, if a new candle opened under the 100-day and 50-day, you would have good resistance overhead to protect you against those losses. And so you would put your, you would draw your stop losses above that. It looks something like this. You would enter on confirmation below that 100-day, and you would put your stop somewhere above that 50-day, and you could get yourself a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio in that case. So this is something to keep on your radar. Link is something good to short because, again, I do believe we will come back down and kiss mama goodbye on this one. We have broken out of this longer term descending wedge. I mean, I started this thing way back in September. Okay, and you can see we've broken out to the upside, and it all, I don't know what the probability of this is, but you guys hear me say it all the time. We'll break out and we like to come back and kiss mama goodbye. All right, so that definitely is a very good, very strong possibility. You have yourselves there a potential from entry here of almost 8%. But again, I want to see another candle open under that 100-day moving average. That is kind of my line of thinking here. All right, quant moving through again on the 200-day, the 50 days currently crossing the 200-day at a level of support. This is just, you wouldn't want to enter a short there, guys. That's just not a good place to enter a short. If anything, you'd enter a long. And look at that. You've already gained from that level of support, almost 4% on a bounce. So this is why I've pulled out of my shorts, and I'm really not in many longs either. This is AMP. Okay, you could play this one, except look at where frickin' we are in way oversold territory. So no support there because we're in new territory, but look at this. We're just way down in oversold territory. No entry there. I don't see it. All right. This is why I'm holding back, guys. All right. And AAV is crossing the 100-day, but again, you want confirmation on this guy. You don't want to just enter here because we don't know it's not going to bounce. And that only, again, gives you another 7.9% profit potential on the short side. All right, you want to see confirmation. This is what I'm looking at, guys, and why I'm holding back on some of these short entries right now. SHIB, man, I wish I would have entered this one because I was just about to in this area right here, and that would have given me another 14%. I thought, or I suspected, we'd come back down and touch the top side of this ascending wedge, and that is exactly, precisely what we did. This is why I love technicals so much, guys. I say it all the time. I don't mind repeating myself in this case. But look at that precise touch of the top of the ascending wedge. You can't get any more perfect than that. And then what do? We bounce. So that would actually, again, make the case for entering long at these areas of support. All right? I'm not saying we're not going to come back down. It's just that's not where you want to enter your short. All right, we've had a good 4% bounce on most of these coins so far. All right, LTC, okay, breaking through the 100, breaking through the 50. We need confirmation. And then at that point, we have another, again, it turns out on many of these to be about 7-8% before we hit major support and have more of a bounce again. All right, but you don't want to enter here because there's no confirmation. And here, Doji has touched perfectly the top of this descending wedge. So this would be a long entry, not a short entry. All right. But do you want to go long in a bearish market? I mean, Bitcoin, as we saw, has broken down. Now, I am actually expecting us to come back up and touch the underside of this channel. But, that's just a probability. So, as always, any entry is a little bit of a risk. I expect us to do that, but who's to say it will? Bitcoin likes to throw curveballs at us and make us look like fools all the time. Anyways, Doji here, if I was going to do anything, I'd go long because look at this. Again, once again, we have touched precisely the top side of this candle or this descending wedge, and we are currently kissing mama goodbye. All right, that's again why I love technicals. You guys will hear me repeat ad nauseum this stuff, but this is how this is how you embed it into your minds and you create those new neural pathways which you can never forget. And this is what helps you to become a better trader. And me, obviously I'm not there yet. I have not actually been doing very good in this bear market. And so I want this whole video process to be a learning experience. You guys learn with me, we learn together. That's really the point of it. That's why I'm creating it. I like doing it. And I want it to just, I'm not sitting here, I've paused my paid subscriptions because I'm not sitting here trying to make money off of it. I don't mind making a little cash when I'm successful for you, but I want to be rewarded for being successful, not being a failure. So I've paused all those paid subscriptions until the time I know and am confident that I can do this thing in a bear market and a bull market. All right, so here we have BCH coming down. Again, we need confirmation under that 50-day. If you're a more aggressive trader and you believe in the short side, you might enter here just like the rest of them. Would I enter here? No, I want to see confirmation. All right, that's not enough of a risk-reward ratio for me to enter here. And so all of these altcoins, not to belabor the point, are really at the same level. They're sitting on support. Now, why do I say they're sitting on support? Because this candle has just not closed yet, and it has to close below the 50-day moving average. Then we have to have another candle open under there. And on crypto, you guys hear me say it all the time, I like to have 3 candles supporting the idea that we have confirmed a move lower. Because crypto never closes. So it's not like a broader market where you actually have a switch off on the market. Crypto never closes. So you really need that confirmation with 3 candles in the crypto space. All right, all these guys are the same, sitting on support. All right, so it's just not a good entry area for me. BICO looks interesting. You've got a little bit of room here to touch a longer trending ascending trend line that I have drawn on the RSI from December of 21, believe it or not. So BICO could be a potential opportunity for a trade and something I actually have been considering. You have your confirmation candle below the 50-day moving average, right? What is our risk reward ratio on this? Nearly 2. Well, since when I drew this was last night, and so now we've come a little bit lower. What is our percent here? So this might be one, guys, stay tuned. This might be one I enter. You got about 7%, and you have your confirmation candle there. All right, so that is an excellent idea of entering right there. And I like to see 3, but sometimes you have to be a little bit more aggressive to catch these positions, these entry areas. Okay, I'm not going to make this video long. Guys, if you want to capture all of my trades, make sure that you subscribe specifically to my website. But like and subscribe wherever you are on social media. You won't get all the content there. To get all of the content, you really have to go to my website here. And that is, where's my F9 key? That is studam.us or studamus.com. Subscribe. You'll get all of my trade alerts, which are currently free. All right. I'm offering free trade alerts until I make my $10,000 portfolio successful for everybody. And once we are successful, then we will possibly unpause what has been paused. That is the paid subscription. Okay, so guys, if you like my content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, that only enables me to push out more content like this for people, and it encourages me to keep this up. I want to keep doing stuff that is useful for you. As far as your trades go, watch those key levels that I have charted in conjunction with BTC and the lead indicators on the broader markets. As always, I put out trade alerts as soon as I enter or exit a trade. All right, so until the next video, peace, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.